And we are here with Nilly still for part 2 of his interview. This isn't going to be for subscribers only. Normally we would consider this a deep dive, but there's going to be some deliberation after these episodes between myself, Nilly, and Jack about how we're going to go forward with this because of how great part 1 was. But here in part 2, we're going to continue where we left off.
I think we definitely need to give Nilly some more time to just speak. This motherfucker's been fucking capped off for years. We need to let him talk.
Let's recap part 1 real quick for those of you guys tuning in. If you haven't watched part 1 or listened to part 1, go do so, because otherwise you're gonna get lost in the shuffle of the madness that's going on right now, because there's just a lot of info and a lot of things being shared. Just to try to get it all out there. We're picking out hot topics, hot points, and picking up on some big names and whatnot. So go back and listen to part 1. So far, we've talked about WASP, we've talked about the 70s, we've talked about the seminars and some of the brainwashing techniques in some of the seminars. We've talked about recent current events with the deaths at 2 programs. One of them being a foster care child. One of a child who was suffocated in a waterproof sleeping bag, where those guys were found guilty of murder. Where we've talked about a lot in part 1, from where it started. We've talked about Sue Chef. We've talked about a couple of other families that are prominent in the troubled teen industry before it was even really called the troubled teen industry, and how Medicare is involved and how the government's gotten involved with assistance for these programs, and kind of some nitty-gritty stuff. It's like a little bit of everything in part 1. So here in part 2, we're going to continue. And Nilly, once again, the floor is yours, my guy. I think we ended part 1 with... We were talking about restraining positions. We were talking about the foster child. We were, for about a half hour, we were lingering around that area. We talked about, like, the chemical burns at TB. And then you had... I think right before we ended, we were talking about David Gilcrease and the seminar, the way some of the seminars went. So from there, floor is yours, brother. And I will banter and talk shit, and he will tell me shut the fuck up as we go on. So, floor is yours.
All right. Let the record state, fuck David Gilcrease. I need to say that for the rest of my fucking life. Nick, it seems like you've met him. Is that true?
I did.
Yeah.
But both y'all?
Yeah.
He was a facilitator of one of my seminars.
Oh, Jesus.
He was at our Discovery.
So I've heard some accounts of his creepy energy as vampiric. Would you say that he's a motherfucker who hangs upside down from the ceiling at night?
No, because I wouldn't disrespect vampires in that sense. If anything, he is a parasitic leech on fucking society and a cancer to the world.
I was just gonna bring it back and say we should have suggested Atkins to him, but it's fine.
No.
Yeah, he has gotten a little.
Atkins wouldn't have worked. He needs the upgraded version, Krakens and meth, because fuck him.
Hold up, what is he on? Because, okay, let's
Xanax.
The fucking high he gets off the souls of children. Like,
so
he is Shang Tsung in a weird, creepy pedophile sense.
I haven't heard that name in a million years. Damn.
I am a Mortal Kombat fan. Leave me alone.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PorchFitcks podcast. Anyways,
featuring the Nilly Show.
Featuring the mind of Nilly. Where it goes, nobody knows.
Hey man, don't blame me. Blame these assholes.
You know, that comment in and of itself explains the image below me on my stream so much better. That's the eye of a crazy person. That's Nilly's eye right there. You guys don't realize it, but that's.
Listen, I made that image for a very specific fucking reason. Okay.
Anyway,
I did.
So I'm sure you guys probably heard about this. I don't know if you remember the full detail, but this all started because, for whatever reason in Utah, like all the fucking LifeSpring seminar bullshit started to catch on and be popular. And it was Bob. I don't think Narv was involved in it. It was Bob and somebody else went to some and got their seminar high. And they thought that would just be a great model for everything. And somebody suggested, like a school or rehab or whatever the fuck.
It was Narv.
Narv?
I'm pretty sure it was Narv.
That name I can't say, word I can't say meme of a man. Go figure. Anyway, hey, I'm watching my language as best as I can. Okay?
I am very appreciative of that.
You
Yeah,
know what I want to
especially since he's going on a suing spree right now.
You know what I want to say about it.
I know. I'm well aware.
We know. Stop it. We love you. It's fine.
Oh God. Anyway, so person of curious brain matter that he is, he seems to get the idea that this like bullshit seminar thing is just a way to fix everyone's problems. Let it out.
Oh man, you're killing me.
It was such a roundabout way for him to say what he wanted to fucking say. I'm actually kind of impressed.
Black holes are condensed.
Almost as dense as his skull. I am struggling to not get you bent off.
Oh, I
quick.
know, and that's yep.
But I have a good reason that I really do not like this sick person. Anyway,
Because he's a mongoloid?
that's an insult to mongoloids. Anyway,
Hey, continue before you slip.
Anyway, the whole basis of this was just a fucking scam, a get rich quick scam, because people literally get off, at least in the adult version of the seminars, because that's kind of what it is. It's a fucking mind game, and they get a high off of it for the people that get hooked on it. No. People like Narv.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I was so confused and concerned for a second.
I know. I was like, this just went a completely different direction. We're going adult industry now? What do we do?
Yeah, go ahead.
For the adult seminars only, because obviously they have a choice and they're fucking adults and they can leave. Many, but not all of them, get like a high off of it. Like there's a weird way that they're getting off on it. And
you do realize that kids that were in programs also went through something called a seminar high, and it was
It's a real thing.
It is 100% a real thing, and family reps knew this and would pass that information on to our parents at the time, saying that we were riding the seminar high right now and they're feeling really good about coming out of the seminar, and it was something that they would use as a tactic. It is 100% a fucking thing.
Well, yeah. Can I lean into that? Because I've done plenty of research on that.
Please
go for it.
This gets into some really uncomfortable territory. You two know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because everything else we've been talking about has been unicorns and rainbow farts.
But yeah, it's like a fucking seminar, for lack of any other way to put it, is just purely mental BDSM. Like, there's no other way to put it.
That's actually a phenomenal way to put it.
And now you just made Nick suddenly more interested in seminars.
Don't kink shame me on the podcast. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Well, it's entirely, completely, totally fucking true. And that's probably just what made the mean man Narv get off on it. But anyway, back to fucking David Gilcrease. Wasn't he the architect of all this shit? Like, he was the guy approached to, like, construct how to psychically rape children for profit? Am I wrong?
No. I mean, probably because he had, never mind. But yes, no, you're not wrong. You are completely right.
I'm hitting the nail on the head for a reason. There is no more accurate way to describe what this is there?
Not really. Not in regards to seminars, no.
And there is MK Ultra, but not.
Well, yeah, they're not actually good at it.
Yes. Yeah.
These are a bunch of hack weirdo amateur brain fuckers, but anyway.
And yet they were surprisingly efficient.
Well, yeah, because if you get somebody under control or they can't leave, you're going to wear them down with enough time.
And they had enough they had enough time to practice. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, they were doing this.
Compared notes.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that, but you're aware of. But when the
I read the emails
after each round of seminars was done, they had their numbers. They had their percentages of people that would graduate, percentages of people that would quote unquote choose out. They had their numbers that they would use, and they would compare, and they would find ways to alter what the process was for each time that they would go through. So they took their notes, compared it with other notes from the other programs, and they refined their process continuously.
For years.
each and
Years.
every time they did a round of seminars, which in our programs was every 6 weeks.
Yep, and
And that's just Ivy Ridge. So you got to think as that's going on, it's 6
every
weeks at
6
Ivy
weeks.
Ridge, but then
Yeah.
they're at another school, then they're at another. So for years.
Yep, they just did a fucking circuit doing this and made a lot of money and got a lot of sick experience with just skull fucking people, for lack of any other way to put it.
Yep,
And
yep.
I also remember seeing a lot of the emails that were exposed on Discovery where David would talk about, like, he'd go to a seminar, the kids weren't professional enough and weren't working the program and taking it seriously from
Yep.
the 90s and all this other shit. And I'm thinking, you put them in that mental state. You're the one who just completely rug pulled reality and threw them into the weirdest 18-hour trip imaginable for 3-4 days straight, and you're complaining about the effects you had on them. But I can't just make this the I hate David Gilcrease hour, because I mean,
You
I
could.
could, I could,
I mean,
but
he was the main one, but he also wasn't the only facilitator.
oh
All
no,
the
he wasn't.
facilitators also contributed to all of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's
he was
just
the architect.
he's the architect and figurehead of the facilitators and the seminars themselves.
Started off as the lifestyle, then went to Premier Educational Systems.
Yep.
Yep. And he's still doing seminar trainings, by the way. I think you might have
Premier
seen that.
Educational Systems. Quotes.
Like last I heard, he was somewhere in Southeast Asia doing seminars with adults.
He's worldwide. He goes everywhere. He goes everywhere from Costa Rica. He's there because they got things in Costa Rica, Southeast
Yep.
Asia, Europe, all throughout the UK. He's literally fucking everywhere.
Bro,
What
you
the
said
heck?
he's worldwide, and the only thing that went through my head is fucking Pitbull. I need to fucking see myself out at this point in time, bro.
Worldwide.
I'm fucking done.
Worldwide.
God damn it.
Then what happened is I raised the bar, and Nick's
Nolly,
meeting me there.
worldwide.
Fuck, man. Okay. Yes. No.
David G.
Gilcrease is
Worldwide.
Mr.
all over the
Worldwide.
fucking
Mr.
Christ.
Worldwide.
God.
David Gilcrease. Worldwide.
I mean,
Sorry.
this is insane. Like, be kind to yourselves. This is nobody could have spun up something crazier or scarier than this. Stephen King and all the cocaine on Earth couldn't come up with this shit.
No, but he wrote some amazing books while on cocaine.
Oh yeah, he did. Part of me wants to just like tell this to Stephen King and see what he comes up with, or see if he just emails back, "Sorry, I can't top this."
He literally just needs to interview any one of us and turn it into a book, and people will be like, "Oh my god, it was the greatest horror book ever made," and we're like, "Yeah, we know."
I'm actually working on part of the reason I've been reconstructing this, and this is actually going to be serious for a bit, believe it or not. People, when you tell them about this, they don't understand. Like if
No.
you just say this happened, that happened, they don't have the empathy to put themselves in your shoes as a kid, as a teenager, and fill in the gaps.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's they don't have the empathy. It's that it's so fucking over the top. You can't. Oh, you almost can't put yourself mentally into those shoes.
Yeah, because they don't know the details to fill. Right? It's like the difference between saying I got beat up and I was hit over and over for such amount of time and it got more and more sore and then I got numb and blah blah blah. Like the difference between just saying it and then filling in the gaps, right? And something I've always been able to do because of probably just my weirdness as much as what I went through, I was able to, when I read what was happening and I was told what was happening, put myself there in a way where, oh, fuck, right?
Yeah.
So I've been working on writing just an account of going through this shit in a way that actually fills in all the gory details and fills in all the gaps. And I have had some beta readers, and people either just block me and never speak to me again, or they're like, "How the hell did you understand this and write this?" And that's something I've been putting a lot of research in to make sure it was realistic. But it's also Wasps is so well researched. I had to lean on that a lot because that is where the fucking information is, because nobody remembers everything. But it's not just Wasps. Like Sea-Doo was pretty big. Straight was pretty big.
Straight was huge.
Oh God, I could go on about Straight for probably a week. Like, I should probably touch on that before I drop it again. It wasn't just that Straight was big or made money. Straight was in bed with the GOP in such a way that George H. Bush mentioned either Sembler by name or Straight Incorporated as one of his 1,000 points of light when he was running for his presidential campaign in the 80s. Mel Sembler is a pretty notorious guy too. He ran Straight Incorporated. He was a big donor to the GOP. He was the judge who got caught with the pump. Can I say the P word?
With the cock bump?
The penis pump.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So there was that. He was ambassador to a few countries, despite not being qualified to be an ambassador. I think Italy, even despite not knowing any
President of
Italian.
WASP? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh, go ahead, man.
No, he said he wasn't fit to be the ambassador of a country. I was like, oh, just like the president of WASP, who definitely wasn't fit to be the president of fucking WASP because he was a fucking security guard.
Yeah, and then of course the K's and the Farnsworths. It's not just the Litchfields, but
No,
that's
the whole thing's perfectly fine. It was run by a bunch of genius individuals who know exactly what they're doing with their lives and know everything they need to do with kids to make sure that kids are functioning members of society and not assholes.
because
And black holes are really condensed.
because they went to a seminar and anything's possible.
Really condensed.
I still can't get over that fucking video.
What makes this even better for the people that are listening to this is, while you guys can't see Nilly can see us and all of our idiotic fucking glory. So everything that we're doing for you fucks that are here for the live show, he can see. Y'all just can't see him, and it's perfect.
They're just squeezing down the density to go past program skull to black hole.
Oh, did we just pantomime the same fucking thing at the exact?
I really fucking hope we didn't.
I think we did. Nilly, did we just do that the exact same fucking time?
Yes, you did the black hole Kamehameha together.
God fucking damn it! I wasn't even looking at the computer when I started doing it.
But yeah, God, we're worried. We're going off on like 15 tangents. But anyway, David Gilcrease being a monster, yeah. And yeah, he was basically contracted out just to construct a way to do this. So the guy who came up with the WASP's model, unless I'm mistaken, is almost entirely David Gilcrease, isn't it?
Ooh, not.
He designed the seminars, yes, but the actual school around it, who designed that?
Litchfield.
No, I don't think it was.
No,
Litchfield
it wasn't
either.
Litchfield either.
No,
they stole. They got that from somewhere else.
So there was obviously. So you have the initial like the idea and all that, obviously stemming from the whole Synanon situation, but then they came out with the wilderness programs where they had the the consequence system and all that and all that, and they just kind of based off of that and the other ones that were formed from it once he was prosecuted. I can't remember his fucking name.
I can't either. I'm trying to think.
Any hints? I might have it in a note somewhere.
He was the dude that the first the thing that came out on Netflix before the program. They like the whole fucking documentary.
William Erhard?
No. The whole documentary was about him and his wilderness program in the fucking Utah desert where all that shit was going on, and he got fucking caught, and then he wound up. They were getting prosecuted. Then he wound up doing another one that wound up over in what was it? Why is this escaping
the Challenger
me right
thing?
I'll just give me a second. I'll
Yeah, I'm
Steve
drawing a blank.
Cardizano? Was it Steve Cardizano?
Yes.
That fuck.
So he had that initial wilderness program where everything was going on, that all the bullshit, and the person that wound up in the hospital, everything. He wound up getting prosecuted. He wound up opening another one, but he kept changing his name, so he was trying to avoid prosecution. Then he wound up opening another one. So each of these programs that he was opening, that he was doing, it was all kind of formulating the base formula for these troubled teen programs.
So the reason that I thought somebody with some kind of an acumen with fucking with people, maybe not a proper psychologist, but a practiced hand at mind fucking was involved, was the lack of communication with the outside world, even though you're in a building, the lack of communication with each other until you're at whatever level. That is what really grinds people down.
Yeah.
Like, that is like some serious human rights violation, Geneva Convention, CIA black site shit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not saying that for expletive value. It's whoever came up with that is a sick person who knew how to break people.
Yeah.
And actually, let's go. I'm sorry I'm so scattered. I've got so much.
Bro, you're fine, bro. No, you're fine.
Get it. There's a lot of different information about a bunch of different fucking pieces. Yeah. There's a lot to sort through. You're fine.
Yeah, but
we do the same thing, bro. We do the exact same thing. Don't worry about it.
I just lost my train of thought.
Haha,
minute.
get fucked.
I hate when that fucking happens because you're juggling 15 billion things here.
Welcome to our life on a daily fucking basis.
Damn it! Now
And
it's going to annoy
yours,
the shit out of
Mr.
me.
Programmer.
Yeah, I hate programs so much. I write them myself just to hate myself more. Oh yeah, I was talking about manipulating people and messing with them. Oh, God, I forgot where I was going with it. God, that's just the annoying thing about this. There's so many pieces. It's like that meme with Charlie, you know, and he has the little board up and then the yarn. Except that's actually how this is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, yeah, but like, oh yeah, I think I know where I'm going. But yeah, the whole thing is just to break people, isolate them, to fuck them up. And the other thing that Challenger did a lot of was, did they start the whole escort thing? Challenger?
Yes.
Yeah, like, well, more of a, okay, so escorting somebody to like a mental hospital because they're actually having a psychotic break and they're dangerous. That sucks, but that's a necessary evil for lack of any other way to really spin it right now, especially in this context.
No, but having two grown-ass fucking men go into your bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning to completely disorient you, tell you we can do
Yeah.
this the easy way or the hard way to get you into a van and bring
Ready?
you to an airport to
They always say that.
Ready? Fun fact. You know who they originally went after to employ for that job?
Who?
1%ers. And
Of course they did.
And guess what they told them? To go fuck themselves because they're
Damn
not going to
straight.
harm a child.
No, I can't think of a single MC that would do anything
The
except
big
blow up
bad
at that.
motorcycle clubs, the 1%ers that everybody's afraid of. Oh my god.
Guess what? They told them to get fucked.
You just reminded me, like that guy I talked about an hour ago who went to military prison for he became a prison reform activist when he saw how bad the civilian ones were.
Yep.
He actually told me that he's shocked that someone's relative, you know, like a 1%er had a cousin or like a nephew or a niece put in a program, hadn't dealt with it by now. And he basically said if a kid related to a gangster gets hurt, then they're going to be wearing people's teeth like a necklace. Kind of sucked that hadn't happened.
Yeah, I believe that.
To come to think of it, because 1%ers do not like people who mess with kids.
No.
Also, I need to get another motorcycle. I miss riding so fucking bad right now.
Mine's for sale.
Don't get Nick started.
One of mine's
Yeah,
for sale. You're more than welcome to buy it.
Back to the awful
Later,
stuff.
after the show.
Back to the awful stuff. God. Ugh, but anyway, yeah, like the
What a
whole
terrible
model.
way to segue. Jesus. Back to the awful things. Fuck off, Nilly.
Back to the Nilly show, where I'm trying to put this bullshit together without having, you know, a staff and funding.
You trying
or
to
a degree in it.
bogart our podcast, you motherfucker?
Like the whole model is probably as close to perfect as these twats could have possibly designed a way to just fuck up and brainwash someone. Like you escort somebody, escort air quotes, you can't see it because I'm hiding my face right now, or you just kidnap somebody and terrorize them, waking them up in their bedroom. They're not even dressed. Their parents aren't home. And this is another thing where I'm trying to talk about filling in the gaps. If you tell somebody strangers showed up and I was scared and then they took me away, you're skipping over a lot. And this is where it gets less than easy to talk about. It's like, you're fucking terrified out of your mind. You're woken up by strangers. They're flipping the lights on, turning the fan off, pulling the covers. Are you fully dressed? Are you dressed at all? Sucks to be you. Two strangers are staring at you. Are they even the same gender as you? If you're a chick, sucks to be you. What if you panic and they put their hands on you? They cuff you. Sucks to be you. I've had more than a few people tell me that they were drugged in one way or another, either forced to take a pill or I don't know how they do. Trazodone, Seroquel. I've heard people having hypos. I don't know if that really happened, but
Trazodone is the program's favorite medication to give out because not only is it an antidepressant, it is a sedative, and it will knock you on your fucking ass.
Oh yeah, at high dose. The other thing is, like, I know that Wasps gave out Seroquel like candy.
Seroquel,
like pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody was on 800 milligrams. That's like an
And
antipsychotic.
it was also their favorite ones to cheek so they could pass it off to others and kids could snort it.
Snorting Seroquel. I'll have to ask
Listen, you're in a fucking program. You don't have access to shit. People found ways to get high in there.
It's an antipsychotic. How's it gonna...
You think people gave a fuck?
It's not that. I'm just like, what's the pharmacology of that? Like, how would that even work? I'm just trying to like wrap my head around that.
There are people that would cheek their fucking Prozac and let fucking people go and snort their fucking Prozac and shit. It's just...
That's just
It's a bunch of fucking dumbass kids in a fucking in a situation where they don't have access to shit,
well. I
and
mean, what else are you
they
gonna do?
find ways to exactly.
They're trying to
it's
find
just
some form of escape, no matter what the consequence.
Some
whether
kind
it
of
be
escape
fucking
or
trying to
stimulation.
ferment your own fucking apple juice or put toothpaste on a fucking orange peel
Hey.
I did both.
Anyway, yeah, and it's like
or drink rubbing alcohol.
Ugh.
I leave that to you, sir.
You did that?
Yeah, cranberry juice didn't help.
Yeah, I imagine that was some awful shit.
It was absolutely awful, but I was drunk as shit.
Hey, man, if it made it go by quicker.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, you tell
God,
me,
my
man.
stomach's fucking turning just thinking about it. It was a genius way to get it, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I had one person distract the nurse, and boom, slide it right in the fucking pocket. There you go, bam.
Hey, there you
Full
go.
bottle of fucking rubbing alcohol. Being on sick bed, we were allowed to get fucking the pitchers of juice, so double pitcher of fucking cranberry juice in hopes that, hey, cranberry cuts the taste of alcohol. It should work for this. It does not. It was terrible, but it worked.
Don't
do it.
because it'll kill your liver quickly.
Fair.
Yeah, denatured isopropyl, I can only imagine how nasty. God. Anyway, but yeah, like the whole thing, I like how we're all distracting ourselves from how fucked up this is. But
Because
anyway,
we know where this is going, and we're just
all three of us, but people got to hear this.
let's go, let's get it.
Yeah, but like the whole thing is just custom designed to terrify, off balance, and make you susceptible and make you weak because you're getting fucking destroyed. You know, strangers showing up, throwing clothes on you, and dragging you across the country. I can't think of anything scarier than that to put a kid through. I really don't know other than Jigsaw torture shit. Like the movie Saw, I can't think of anything getting worse, and that is technically worse, not actually.
I mean,
I just need you to know something, Nilly. If my
Go
daughter
ahead.
winds up listening to this episode of the podcast, you're going to become her favorite person for mentioning Saw.
Oh my fucking god!
I mean that it got worse. It's called The Program.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If she does listen, she needs to understand is a seminar is way worse than any Saw shit.
Oh, she's well versed.
Can I ask a slightly personal question?
Sure.
Have you ever had any of those 2 a.m. wake ups and she woke up with you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've even had those, and not. I think it's half between the shit I've been through and half the shit I've read, because your brain can make some shit real if it has enough pieces to do it.
Bro, I can't tell you how many times in the past fucking 3 months I've had dreams of being back in that place.
Oh my
Now,
fucking!
A
I woke
couple
up.
of them, I've had dreams where me and Nick were somehow talking to each other on a fucking phone, and we willingly went back to that place, which was definitely my brain going, why are you fucking doing a podcast about this
You
shit?
had that
We
dream
literally-
too?
Bro, we literally called each other. We met up in some random ass fucking city. I don't even fucking know. And we literally just drove our ass to fucking the ridge.
Did we meet
walked
up
in the fucking front door?
Did we meet up at a water tower where that didn't have a name on it that was painted blue? Like a light blue with a white stripe.
There was a water tower.
Carly Young in this bitch.
Motherfucker, bro. I had the exact fucking dream 3 nights ago.
Bro, I had mine like fucking a month and a half ago, dude. I was fucked up.
Oh,
that's why I didn't talk to you
God.
for like a week because I was like, nah, bro, I don't want to fucking tell him about this. We just willingly went back into the ridge.
I woke up from being back in my junior program this morning, but it was how do I put this shit? Like, I knew what was going on. I was adult me, not helpless little kid me, and I knew what was going on. And I named a few names of people in programs, and they got pissed off. And then they tried to do what they were going to do, and I'm like, no,
I just can't believe
I'm not 10 anymore.
I just can't believe we had the same fucking dream, and you've never told me about that till just now, and I had that dream 3 nights ago.
Bro, I didn't even want to fucking talk about it. Why would I want to share that I had a dream that I willingly went back to the program and fucking my brain brought your ass along with me? Like, no, fuck that. Bro, but we literally did. We went back in there.
Yeah.
We walked our ass in the front door, took left to go to the other fucking computer room, not computer room 26, the other one.
The other one.
Walked our ass over there and just sat the fuck
there
down.
and just sat down and stared at the computers. They weren't turned on, and there was nobody else in the building. And we sat in that room, looked at each other, started talking, looked out the window, got up, went to the fucking gym, looked at the fucking basketball hoop, went to shoot basketballs, and went, fuck this, went into the cafeteria and hit the juice machine, and we filled up a pitcher of blue juice. Please tell me that's what happened in your fucking dream.
No, we wound up in study hall.
Okay. That was later on in mine. That was after we went and drank the juice because we got caught.
But like it was, and I don't understand it. And like I don't know why my brain fucking associated with it. But since the release of the fucking program coming back out, I've had multiple dreams where, and like it's that weird type of sleep where you know you're fucking dreaming, but you can't wake yourself up, and
Yep.
you're just sitting there stuck, fucking suffering in there, and like you know, I'm asleep on my couch right now, or I'm asleep right now. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And the fucking panic sets in, and you feel your fucking heart rate skyrocket. And yeah, that's happened to me far too many fucking times
a lot. It's
recently,
happened
and
to me
I
a lot.
fucking hate it.
I usually have the other thing where I wake up at the drop of a pin across the country for some reason. I wake up super fast from everything. I've never like been aware of being asleep and unable to wake up. I'll be too engrossed in it, and then something like I move physically in real life, then I wake myself up. But like I think the worst thing is since we're getting all weird about this shit, late last year is when I kind of started remembering all this shit, and it was the same night that, or the night before, that fucking eclipse went over Utah and Colorado, the fucking annular eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Like vivid fucking dreams, and way too many of them are just being there and watching helplessly and not smashing someone's face in with a hammer. I'm happy I have those when I do, but rarely. You never get enough of those.
So what caused the memory resurgence? Like,
Hey.
what were you doing something in particular, or was it literally just
The
something
fucking eclipse.
shifted?
Some shit shifted. The fucking annular eclipse, ring of fire.
What
Nilly's
year?
pissed off.
What year were you in the junior program?
Oh God, I was like 10 or 11. Let me text. I'll put in the chat my birth year. I mean,
Wild.
I don't know how else to fucking describe it, but the thing that sucked is it took a month for all the shit to come back, all the memories, and I had a fucking ache like a fever that whole month. Like, have you guys ever had that?
Yes.
And the worst thing is, like, you feel the strength leaving your body when your brain's going through that shit. Like I work out a couple times a week at least. I lost like 10% on everything. I lost all my energy, and if I'd be writing stuff down so I wouldn't forget it, you just sweat through your fucking clothes and you go to bed at fucking 2 a.m. And that was like a whole month. And then the documentary hits, and it's like go through that twice.
So, you want to know why the eclipse triggered it for you?
Shoot.
May 10th, 1994.
Son of a bitch. If it wasn't so long ago I could get my records, I would, but it's been 30 years, and it was paper back in the 90s. There's no way they still have it.
So
I did check.
If you were there around that time, the spring of 1994,
That had to have been, because that's when
you were there.
the age.
You were there during a solar eclipse.
Son of a bitch.
The brain's a bitch, isn't it?
You were there during You were there during a partial solar eclipse. That it was visible all over a swath of North America, from Baja across the Midwest of the United States through Ontario, Nova Scotia, and Canada, occurring for only 1.6 days.
That's some shit. Like I said, this is supernaturally fucked up, and I stand by that. Like, this isn't just regular materialistic fucked
Or
up.
1.6 hours. I don't want to say fucking days.
This whole fucking industry is just a complete fucking
Evil's real, and you're looking at it.
absolute level of evil that's just it's insane.
It's not it's hard to even classify it as evil, right? Because evil a lot of the times doesn't have a plan. A lot of times things that are evil are sporadic and are just kind of jumped on and just kind of happen without any form of a plan of attack. But when it's something that's planned, that's orchestrated, that's designed, evil's not even the fucking word for it. It's horrific. It's damn near demonic. Not even fucking just evil. It's
Thank you
damn
for saying
near
it for me.
demonic. Because think of other things. Think of anything that's associated with horrors when it comes to things that happen that are planned. What does your mind instantly go to?
Planned horror?
Yeah. What does your mind go to in the real world?
Fucking Holocaust.
Terrorist attacks.
That too? Shit.
Fucking war. Like, people can be the embodiment of evil. There's evil people that worked there and committed these evil acts.
Yeah.
But the structure in which it's formulated is damn near demonic.
I think that's entirely fair. And, you know, you talk about how it's something jumped on and then later people made money off of it. I mean, that makes sense. Like, Narv isn't somebody who's going to come up with a plan, obviously. But Narv saw an opportunity.
He
right?
probably still wears fucking Velcro.
Narv's a dumbass for a whole fucking plethora of reasons. This motherfucker's trying to sue Catherine.
Meanwhile, in the documentary, he's signing a release form with a producer.
He literally signs a release and he's trying to sue her. Like, that's not a smart man.
And I mean,
No.
like, so right now in the chat, for those of you that are on Spotify and YouTube and listening on the podcast platforms, somebody in the chat said there is no measurement on evil. Evil is evil. Completely agree. But when you're talking about something that is as planned and methodic as this, like, evil just doesn't, that word just doesn't seem to fit. Like, it is so demonic to think in that form. The only thing I can think of like that, like, my brain shoots to, like, Supernatural or movies that have the supernatural entities that of demons in them, because only people that are literally the embodiment of something demonic could come up with these types of fucking plans and structure to just torture
Well,
and
you got to take that a step further. Take it a step further. They have done this and denied all these allegations, but they know full well what's happening to the kids in these fucking places, and
Or they're doing it
continue
themselves.
to deny it.
Yeah. It's
So not just created it and fucking did it and are running it and making all this shit fucking possible to happen. They are denying that anything bad is even happening.
yeah, like, and that, like, you take, like, an evil to me just doesn't encompass that. It is demonic in fucking nature from the root of it, like, to the core of it, just demonic as fuck, and it's insane.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm trying to build a full explanation for, because if you try to relate this to the average person, they're just going to their eyes are going to glaze over, they're going to blink, they're going to flinch. It's too much, and it's not like they necessarily don't want to handle it. It's like, it's a mix of they can't and it is incredulous. It is just that bad. So you have to have all your ducks in a row. You have to have, like, what about this? What about that? What about that? Explain this, explain that. That's why I've been building a heap of what's been going on and making sure that people have evidence. They can make their own arguments and do their own stuff off of the evidence for so long, because that's the only way to get this through to people. Like, that's why I'm trying to put together the whole fucking program experience.
And, like, that's
which is what we were trying to talk about, I think.
And that's what makes it even crazier, right? Is because you're trying to tell these people these things, right? And everybody's seen horror movies. Everybody's read a horror book. Everybody's seen a horror TV show. And people are like, oh, yeah, okay, horror, got it. But when you tell them that shit like this is what's happening, it's like, what? Like, bro, they don't even make movies with that shit. There's a reason why horror movies don't have that shit in it. Because it's borderline unfucking fathomable and believable.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that movie Boot Camp, you can't find it anywhere anymore.
I couldn't watch that.
Oh no, I fucking did. And I called this fucking asshole the fucking moment I put it on and went, bro, this is fucked up. And he just goes, why the fuck are you watching it? I was like, I don't fucking know. It was just there, and
and then he goes,
bro.
And then he goes, wait, have you watched it? I go, yeah. He goes, why are you getting mad at me? I go, because you're supposed to be the smarter of the two of us.
But literally, you can't find that movie anymore. I think you could find, like, the trailer of it maybe, but I literally, you just
So,
like, It's like that one movie that Mila Kunis did doesn't fucking exist anymore.
It's like
yeah,
Sleepers. It's like Sleepers. Sleepers is actually really hard to fucking find too. It disappeared for a while.
So, have either of you managed to sit through Schindler's List without freaking out?
I love that movie.
It's Schindler's List, of course.
It's a great movie.
That's I've never been able to sit through it. It's just been too much. There's also
it's a lot, but
It's fascinating.
You have to. The way to get through that movie is you have to remember you're watching something about a historical fact, and when you look at it from that point of view of you're actually learning something watching that movie, it makes it easier to get through, but it also makes you realize a lot of things. But I'm also a history buff, so like watching,
the problem for me is there's so many parallels between this and the industry. It just makes my blood boil until steam shoots out of my ears. And another anecdote: a friend of mine, I haven't spoken to in a million years. She went to the Holocaust Museum in D.C. and had to be drug out. Like she just fucking froze up. She went to Cross Creek, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just too fucking much in person. I'm like, I can't walk in there even if
like,
when I go to DC.
Like you talk about the parallels, bro. Like when it comes to that stuff, right? Like what happened in like Nazi Germany, right? There's so much there when it comes to experimental medical things that happened. It's hard.
Brain fucking too.
It's almost impossible to not draw parallels to it. Like for instance, Bayer aspirin. How many people do you know take Bayer aspirin or buy Bayer aspirin? Probably a fuck ton, right? How many of those people do you think know that every 3 months they ordered 150 Jews to their research facility before they changed their name to Bayer aspirin to run fucking insane medical fucking tests on them to where they were killing them in swaths of 100 at a time and ordering more test subjects from the Nazis?
Well, I mean, the direction I was going to go in was more the Nazis got a good handle on propaganda and how to mess with people's heads.
Look at the websites.
And I think the biggest example is the whole Cathedral of Lights bullshit they did in Nuremberg.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that wasn't just a big fucking seminar.
Think of, bro, any of that is Hitler talking. The way Hitler would speak to people was the way seminars are handled. So if you watch a speech, and I did this in college, we watched this one of Hitler's many fucking, addresses to the German people. And he starts off really fucking calm. But then as he's going on, he starts yelling. His hands start flying more erratically. His hair becomes messed up. And then he has to calm himself down. He combs his hair back over. And people are like, he's so passionate about this and da-da-da-da-da. Bro, all he's doing is brainwashing you to fucking make you think a certain way from what he's saying to get an emotion out of you.
Oh yeah,
what
the whole thing was an act.
What the fuck do they do in fucking seminars?
Well, is that something you remember enough to go on about? Like, did David or any other facilitators pull that exact shit?
Yeah, constantly. So, like, you would sit there, like, the towel thing, right? Beating the floor with the towel. They'd start off talking to you, and they'd be like, hit the ground, come on, guys, like, get it. And then all of a sudden, it was screaming at you. They were yelling at you. And then to calm you down, they start talking calm again, start talking all this nice shit. And then they just start fucking screaming shit at you again. Like, bro, it was just fucking up and down, up and down, up and down. But then, like, you're doing, like, the tape wall. Like, I remember this for some fucking reason, and I always think it was an
tell me
orientation.
about that.
I always thought it was an orientation, but apparently it was a fucking Discovery. Where you're sitting there working on, there's, like, pieces of tape on a fucking wall. And you're staring at this stupid fucking wall. Like, when you get those stupid fucking things on fucking Facebook, and it's just
1 point if you've ever jerked off, and 1 point if you've ever slept with this person.
those stupid fucking things on Facebook. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Like, how many years in prison would you get if you did these things? Did you have sex in a church? Did you have sex in a graveyard? Like, all this dumb shit. They basically do that with pieces of tape. It's like, have you ever told your mom she's a bitch? Grab a piece of tape. Have you ever told your dad he's a fucking asshole? Grab a piece of tape. Have you ever fucking played hooky from school? Grab a piece of tape. Have you smoked fucking weed? Grab a piece of tape. Have you done cocaine? Get a piece of tape. Have you sucked a dick? Grab a piece of tape. Like, as they're going through it, though, they're literally starting to yell at you, though. Like, did you ever skip school?
Oh, see, I didn't have that because Miss Ruth was the one that did mine, and her tactic was.
I was with you. She yelled at me.
She was the very for the majority of it. It was very much she would just say something, and she tried like there was the whole somber tactic, like as you said, you ever fucking suck dick type of situation, and like as they're going through it, she's just literally listing shit.
Yeah, but then like it wasn't her, but like there was, because when we did ours, cause I remember asking you, like, who's running the discovery? Is it Ruth or is it the dude? And you're like, no, it's not Gilcrease, it's Ruth. And I was like, okay, but he was there. But like, people weren't going up to the wall as much as they thought people were going up. So Gilcrease would be off on the side. And he'd be like, "You tell me you didn't suck dick," and like you'd be like, "Fuck, okay, I'll grab a piece of tape." Like she'd be all calm, and then all of a sudden there'd be a dude yelling like, "You didn't fucking quit school. You didn't cut school. You didn't call your mom a bitch. This is all your fucking fault. You better take accountability." And you're like, "Oh, okay, fine, fuck it." You're grabbing pieces of tape and just slapping them on yourself. Like, "Fuck, he's yelling at me. I don't know what to do." Like,
yeah, that whole tactic, and I'm sure, I don't know how much you know about the whole tape exercise, Nilly, but the whole tactic
Not a whole lot.
They literally list things
like
just
like
up
50
and
of
fucking
them.
down. Did you smoke cigarettes? Did you skip school? Did you ever fuck someone? Did you ever get raped? Did you ever get into a fight? Were you abused as a kid? They just start listing all of this shit.
Have you ever masturbated in public? Like,
So like
Wait, in public?
they start saying all of these things, and literally they just start naming shit, and you go up, and each time you've done something or something, you relate to it, you go up, you grab a piece of tape, you put it on. And their whole tactic with this is they sit there and they're saying all of these things is they wind up once they've gone through their list, it gets all fucking quiet, and she's literally, the fucking facilitator will sit there on the side, and she goes, "Take a look at yourself and feel the weight on you." And when you're in that situation, and you're in that scenario, and you're getting fucking screamed at, and you're having all of this shit happen, and you're fucking tired, and like you're just trying to figure this shit out, you look at yourself and you're like, "God damn, I'm covered in a lot of fucking tape. This is what the fuck?" And you're just kind of looking at yourself.
And it's toward the end of the night, so you are drained and starving and tired as fuck.
That's something that just is so weird. Like, if a group of people say something enough, it becomes true in a weird way to most brains, because it's just how we're wired.
Placebo
If
effect.
if you're stressed out and they're aggressively attacking you with it, that makes it work worse. If you're exhausted first, it makes it sink in more. And this is how brainwashing is done. It's just group dynamics, and I was skipping over and glossing over a lot, but that's what it is. You just have a group of people, and just the group singles out everybody one at a time, and the group basically does it to itself, with these people being the ringleaders.
Oh yeah, they make you, once you go through these things, they have different sections in the seminars where they make you stand up on a chair
Oh,
in the
God.
middle of the seminar room, which again, you also got to realize, going into a lot of these, you're separated. So you got the guy side and you got the girl side. The seminars were co-ed. So you're going into there, and it's your first time being around girls and whoever the fuck knows how long. They then have you go through these seminar processes, and one of them, they have you stand up on your chair with your fucking hands, your palms up and like this, means you're open for fucking feedback, and they literally let anybody in that room tear the fuck into you.
And
So you're
the
sitting
girls
there
were
with your
ruthless
peers.
with the guys.
The girls were always fucking
They're good at that
ruthless.
shit.
But you're sitting there with your peers, and you're just standing there, and they just stand up, and they're like, "My experience of you is," and you're like, "Oh, fuck, here we go." And they just lay into you. And it's like anywhere from, you get like 3 or 4 people going in there, and then every now and again you get someone that goes up, someone that's made a name for themselves in the seminar. Don't ask me how I know. You stand up on that fucking chair, and you get fucking bombarded.
How do you know?
For fucking 5 to 10 minutes, because I was apparently a quote-unquote leader in my focus.
Were you
Because
really?
You were a leader, they did it worse.
Oh, fuck yeah!
God, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing. And just so you know, one of the other things that gets you at that point in time, and we're kind of jumping off of this because we're going from discovery to focus. There's a segment in focus where it's called the lifeboat.
Oh God, here we go.
The lifeboat is a fucking shit show, and the lifeboat fucks you up. I don't care who you are. The lifeboat fucks you up. You're tired as shit by that point in time. you're exhausted, you're fucking hungry, and they just told you you're gonna die. You have to stand up and you have to plead your case. You have 30 fucking seconds to tell people why you feel you should be saved or why you should just die. And if you don't use that time, they rip into you. So if you're going to sacrifice yourself and let other people do it because that means you feel like you have no self-worth. Or if you sit there and you talk more than 30 seconds, you're a pompous fucking asshole. You lose either fucking way. It doesn't matter what you fucking say in that situation. You fucking lose. I died. Fine.
Did you take them with you?
Oh, I fucking died. Absolutely.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but did you take them with you?
It's fucking... It's... Oh, God. Fuck.
So to be serious again, for people listening that haven't been in a program or stuck their face into this fire for 20 years like me.
Oh, we're not trying to be funny. Like, we're being dead serious. It's just the way we're saying it is kind of comical.
Oh, I know. I'm right there with you. It's like...
I'd rather not talk about it any other fucking way.
Facts. It's like people... What I'm trying to say is people listening who don't have direct experience need to understand this shit's real in your head. This is really real in your fucking head. You feel like you're fucking dying. You feel like you have to beg and plead for everything, and being humiliated like this just... It's
crazy.
Too real.
It's like it's not even that it's real. It becomes so surreal that you feel like you're dreaming.
It's more than real.
But like you're so deep in your own fucking thoughts that you have no clue. Like you really don't understand. Like you're just going with it and it's fucking you up so bad.
Oh,
you're just like this.
I can
tape,
make it worse.
Why am I covered in like again with like this is all your fault. This is all because of you. And you're just like, yeah, I know that. That's why I'm here. Like, why am I didn't think I really deserved.
Well, you remember why they berate you so bad during the tape process, right? Because afterwards, when you crumple that,
I got destroyed.
Because your whole thing is to crumple that fucking thing, put all that tape together, take it off of you, and that leads directly into the towel exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna take you back to the focus really quick. So not only after you plead your case, and you have your 30 seconds, and it gives everybody in the room the second to their 30 seconds to talk. They take it a step further. Once you've pled your case or not pled your case, you get to stand in the middle of all of your peers. So you are now in the middle of everybody in your focus. And you get to step in front of each and every person, look them right in the fucking eyes, hold your hand up, and go like this, look them dead in the face, and tell them, you live or you die. And step left. And do it again. To every single person in that room. Then, based on your amount of votes, if you made it into the lifeboat or not, they then take it a step further, tell you to lay on your back and close your eyes. They dim the lights. They play the little fucking fancy dance fucking music. And for anybody that didn't live, they lead you down a journey of you attending your own fucking funeral. Now, you were just sitting there on a nice little fucking cruise, taking a nice little fucking trip, and you're all like, oh, this is fucking beautiful. And suddenly the fucking people, the upper levels that are staffing your seminar, start slamming the fuck out of the table. And they're like, oh my God, the boat, it crashed and you're drowning. What are you gonna do? And then you plead your case. You tell people if they live or die. And then if you didn't make it on the fucking lifeboat, the facilitator sits there and they're like, you're dead. You're in your coffin right now. And for anybody that's already that fucking tired and has been brutally fucking exhausted at this point in time, you're like, why am I dead? What do you mean? And they're like, how many people are at your funeral? This one, they really get you. Because the people that have already beaten the fuck out of themselves sit there and they're like, oh, fuck, why is it just me at my funeral? Why is nobody there? They literally just destroy you.
Yeah. They make you literally question your very existence in every single seminar and question
and that
every
shit sticks with
fabric of you.
Like, I can still remember people's faces when I was fucking standing in the middle of that fucking circle looking at people that I considered quote-unquote friends and telling them if they lived or fucking died.
It's
and, like, you see their reaction in front of you and you're like, ugh. Like, it's fucked.
It's
Sorry,
probably,
I'm done.
No, dude, I'm kind of glad you did that, because when I talk about this with like lay people, I guess that's the best way to put it. Lifeboat seems to be the one thing that people seem to get is fucked up. Like other stuff, they think it's dumb or weird or kind of creepy weird, but it doesn't click. Lifeboat, just for whatever reason, people get it. I'm glad they get something, but it kind of sucks to have to talk about that, doesn't it? Well,
Yeah,
I have a question.
it's wild, man, because like you really do, like even just like I've looked at some of my shit that I have from like Discovery, like the shit I wrote. Like I've reread it like a whole bunch of like, bro, I don't even know who that like I don't even know who I am at that point writing that shit. Like I don't like the thoughts in there, like bro, like none of those thoughts were my thoughts. Like I know that. Like I know
Well,
what
they
the
put it
fuck
in there.
like I know what the fuck I was feeling. I know what the and like I read something, I'm like, that's a lie. I just wrote that to fucking fill a page. Or like I wrote that just to fucking get brownie points. And then some of that shit, I'm like, why the fuck did I write that? Like
They made
like,
you.
that's not how the fuck I felt. But that's the thing is, there's nobody there, and it's the middle of the night, and it's just you writing.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the other thing.
But
For
because you
the
just got
people.
tore into so fucking bad, you're actually questioning your own fucking existence, and you're just like, fucking just give me a gun. Like I'm fucking like just who's got a piece of glass? Stab me in the neck. I'm done. Like you want nothing to do with anything. Like you really just
even
stop fucking caring.
so even in Discovery, they made you stay up all night doing the homework.
Every seminar, orientation, all the way through.
Yeah, yeah. That was the one thing that just killed me is like they kept you up 18 hours, and then they kept you up all night doing homework, and then yeah, you might have
And
gotten like what 1 hour of
you
sleep.
had to do it. You had to do the homework, and if you didn't write enough for it, you chose out.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you didn't sleep at all for like 3-4 days.
You got you. I think the most sleep you would get was about 3 hours if you got it all done fast enough. And that's if it was enough, and you actually just wrote really fast and were able to get your thoughts down quick enough. You could probably get 3 hours of sleep.
And that's another thing that was by fucking design. Like this
Yes,
kind
it's
of sleep.
sleep deprivation, refreezing.
Yeah, like this is either by accident or some sick talent or research on the part of these people.
It's
Is
research.
what it's actual brainwashing. This is how you break people. This is how you interrogate people.
It's
Like,
it's a military tactic. So, like in the military, you go through sleep deprivation. Your body only needs 4 hours of sleep to be able to function. But if you get less than that 4 hours of sleep after extreme physical exertion and starvation, and you're kept at a high state of stress, what ends up happening is your brain starts like throwing out chemicals to keep you awake and to try to keep you alert. But what happens is because you end up almost in a state of delirium, you then end up in a state between sleep and awake, which is where they reprogram.
yep.
And that's where they start doing what was it? The 3 phases are what? It's unfreezing, changing, refreezing. Yes, unfreezing, change, refreezing. So what happens is they unfreeze. That's going through the process of getting your stress level up, keeping you awake, getting you physically exhausted. And then the change is when you're at that state, and that's when they start implementing and start getting you to think and start putting things in there. And then the refreezing state is when you should be asleep and you're putting everything down on paper and you're left to sit with your thoughts. It's called refreezing because your brain starts to freeze up and you start latching onto those things. And then the next day they're able to get back at you and unfreeze you to the point of where you were and keep feeding into it to just keep going. That's why seminars are also 3 to 4 days long, because that process can take 2 to 5 days for maximum effectiveness, which they've learned through different scientific experiments from.
David Gilchrist doing this shit for what 20 years almost.
Yeah, but he also got a lot of that stuff from other programs and other.
Yeah, LifeSpring.
LifeSpring. If you look at, did you ever read up on Jim Jones?
Yes.
Read up on Jim Jones and then go read up on David Gilchrist. Tell me what you find.
Oh God, I'm probably gonna. You might hear me screaming from a few states over.
Go read up a whole bunch of shit on Jim Jones. Then go read up on what's around about David Gilchrist and his past and like how he's like came out to be. You're gonna fucking shit. You're gonna throw up.
No, I can really put 2 and 2 together here because Jim Jones did the White Knights, where he'd keep people up and he'd like pretend to poison them, and they'd threaten people with taking poison, right?
Jim Jones is the famous cult leader that had over like 2,000 people drink Kool-Aid to kill themselves.
Yeah, but like before he did that, he called it the White nights where they drink some kind of a mixed drink that might have had the poison in it but didn't.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, it's been a minute since I looked this
It was something along those
monster
lines.
up.
Yep, it was something along those lines.
And that's kind of just a sloppier version of what Gilcrease was doing, wasn't it? Because he was having people in a group. The group was attacking people who went against the group, and they wore you down.
I wouldn't say sloppier. It was a more.
It was a much more refined.
Yeah.
Wait, Jim Jones was more refined?
No,
No,
Gilcrease.
Gilcrease.
Gilcrease was very,
hold
very
on.
refined in everything he was doing.
I was saying that Jim Jones was like a sloppy version, and Gilcrease was the refined guy.
Yeah, well, Jim Jones, everything that he did for it, the tactics that he used, it's literally all a matter of just manipulation. That's
all the shit is.
It's not hard to manipulate a person if you let them think that it's their own thoughts.
Yep, and that's also what Manson did too. He used the benefits of acid, mushrooms, and marijuana to his benefit, along with his sexual prowess for women, but he used the drugs and whatnot to help manipulate them and talk to them while they were in the States, and then he would convince them of a whole bunch of shit, and then because he was just such this great guy to them, they basically did whatever the fuck he wanted. Literally.
Now I'm kind of wondering in a weird way, like, the fucking seminars are just so fucking bad by themselves. Why did they need the rest of the program anyway, unless they're just sick?
Reinforcement.
Because the program is reinforcing.
That's a good way to put it.
So no.
No, that's what it is. That's how it's structured.
You go through the program where you're following a strict set of rules. You're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to do anything. You get 3 days of freedom, quote unquote, to interact with other people, and they give you that semblance of being around other people and talking, because in the seminars, most of the time, a lot of the exercises, you're talking to other people. You're doing stuff. You have the exercises to do. You have things. It gives you that social, socialization, basically. And when that is happening, when you're at that peak of being happy because you're able to interact with other people, because you spend so much time shut down, you get that, you get the brain boost, you get the serotonin in there, and you're sitting there and you're excited, and then they start to drill you.
And the program itself, outside of the seminars, was a way of measuring. It was a way of measuring what they needed to do, because not only would they compare notes after the seminars, what they would do is they would also compare notes and check in on the batch of students for the first 2 weeks after that seminar, to see what stuck, how they're acting, and what's changed when it came to like the problematic kids. Like I had notes on that in my shit, and there's emails about specific students and whatnot, and then there's like general emails about like the general class of people that were in the seminar, for the most part, are now acting in this manner, with a few outliers. Those outliers, it seems that this part may not have taken, so this may need to be addressed in the seminar, or something that could be tweaked to help bring those people in that aren't thinking along those same lines. So it was all a way of measurement to help the seminars and to reinforce what you had in the seminars, because when you got out of the program, people started moving up the program ladder. What do? They start acting the way that they're starting to get programmed to do within the seminars, so therefore they know what's now working on that particular person.
That's why they have the level system. That's why there are levels based. You can't reach certain levels until you've accomplished certain seminars. It's all just
the
seminars.
Yep, the seminar is the peak and the foundation, with the program being in the middle to fucking prop it up and to carry out the every day-to-day drudge work of maintaining what was happening in the seminars, to keep your brain on track to do what they wanted to do.
It's also why the head parents go through seminars, because having the parents go through seminars, and then they can then associate that when they talk to the family rep with, well, your son or daughter just went through discovery and or focus, and you've now gone through discovery, and you see how much better they're doing. You need to make sure that you keep them in there, because the seminars, one of the things in the parent seminars that they reinforce day in and day out is keeping your child in the program until graduation.
Right. When you put it that way,
just filters and circles back in and of itself. It's fucking disgusting.
And even when people would graduate, they would either find programs to put them in to where they could stay till they're 21. They would have home contracts, to where they would have to follow a strict set of rules which would also continue to reinforce what was learned in the seminars in the program, and they would use guidelines that were sent with parents who completed those fucking seminars. They had a fucking damn near fucking textbook on following these sets of rules, and implementing these sets of rules will help deter this form of reprogramming back to their old ways. This will help keep them on track to do this. This will keep them here. Make sure you don't let them fucking wear black. Make sure they're not allowed to listen to this music. Make sure they're not allowed to fucking have Slipknot posters on their fucking walls. Make sure they don't want to associate with anybody with tattoos, because that's fucking devil shit. Like, fucking, when they wipe their ass, it's got to be single fucking sided, one-ply toilet paper, because that's what their butthole is used to, because fuck them, they're pieces of shit. Like, it's just, bro, it's fucking, it's wild.
So, I really think you put it in a very illuminating way. And I guess from my perspective, it seems like the program isolates you, so you crave interaction.
Yes.
But the only interaction you're allowed to get is the twisted, fucked up, brainwashy seminar shit. So you go back and forth between total isolation and forced openness, humiliation, brain fuck back and forth. Then you go up in levels, and they start making you like discipline the other kids, and then the seminars keep going.
You become a god. You become a human in your own eyes, and then you have this power. And by giving you power, you then feel empowered. Therefore, you are now more susceptible to suggestion, which means you are going to do what they ask you to do, and you're going to just start acting on those things without even fucking realizing it. I.e., perfect example, Alexa in the documentary. I didn't even remember restraining that person.
Oh, God. Oh.
Do you not remember when I read my fucking online file?
Yep. I remember.
So I had literally the exact same fucking reaction, because there's this fucking statement of fact in there from when I restrained someone, and I didn't fucking remember until I read that thing.
Hold up. You guys just reminded me of something pretty big. So someone in one of the groups posted some of the statement of fact logs after restraints, and it was this one kid, a girl, I think. She just didn't want to play along with the bullshit. She got restrained, thrown in isolation, or OP, whatever the fuck they called it, and she wouldn't stay in the position. And after they went in there to put her back into like the chin down bullshit, they put her in the wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see kids put in the wrap?
Not on our side, no.
Do you know what
slammed?
Do you know what the wrap is?
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier.
Let me get a picture real fast.
Yeah, we're familiar with it.
Yeah, well, quite simply, on our side of things, if you didn't do what they wanted you to do, they just beat the shit out of you.
Again, our side was much more physical and hands-on, whereas the girl side, yeah, they got physical, but the physical things they had them do was much more for the mental anguish of it, not so much the actual physical pain of it.
So that right there is a picture of a administrator in the Colorado state system going through the wrap himself, where he determined it was torture and should not be done to kids.
Yeah, they didn't do that in ours.
Let's show that to the fucking stream. Yep.
And I remember reading that and thinking, oh, God.
That's a taped-up motorcycle helmet, full face.
Yep, because they didn't want them spitting and they wanted to cover their face up. And then, of course, they drew a stupid face on it just to make it even more offensive.
Those restraints I have seen, and I've never... And to put a kid in that is something that, yeah. So those are used in psych wards and in maximum security penitentiaries for the people that are too dangerous to be allowed to move under their own will. And they strap them up in that, and then they strap them in chairs, and they wheel them around.
That's only justifiable if, like, you literally have no other choice, right? Like somebody's tearing their skin off or fighting, right?
I can understand it in a psychiatric ward with the criminally insane, or with maximum security prisons with somebody who has attacked a guard before, who has caused bodily harm to other people, and you want to make sure that A, they don't harm anybody else, and B, also don't harm themselves, because a lot of times those people, what do? They also fucking hurt the fuck out of themselves, and you don't want that. If it's not comfortable, it's not meant to be comfortable, but at the same time, those restraints don't hurt unless put on incorrectly. If they're not put on correctly, those things will fucking tear you apart.
Well, it's not just that. It's also, like, there's usually guidelines. They don't always follow them. Like, only as long as absolutely necessary. Like you're going to move them into different restraints or no restraints or just an empty room or place to place or only until they're
Yes,
calmed down or whatever.
they're categorized as a temporary restraint system
Yes.
purely for movement of A to B. They're never
Right.
supposed to be on for a long period of time or for an extended period of time. That's why they have such things as the straitjacket.
Right. But we both know, well, all three of us, everybody listening, whenever they're listening, that this is used just to torture people too.
Yes.
For God knows how long,
Now, I will
hours
say
and days.
when it comes to how they're used in, let's say, official capacities, military, um, in military applications, prison applications, and psychiatric applications for the criminally insane, they sometimes will keep them in those restraints and in those chairs where they restrain them down to the chair for an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours at a time, mainly because they are being a danger. And you're talking about full-grown adults who are having an adrenaline surge, who are violent in nature because that's why they're there, and some off their medication, some not, some having a bad reaction, some just having a really bad fucking day, but they've been in jail for years and years and years. So you're not dealing with the normal set of circumstances to where using those on a kid is even applicable in any way. Like those should never be put on anybody under the age of 21 because of how they can contort the body if put on wrong.
Well, so this is more of the medical-ish sort of new program, so to speak. They will lean on stuff like this a lot, I've seen, and they'll do it for hours, days. And I can't remember the exact program. It's easy to lean on wasps, but that's because they were so big and there's so much fucking info about them. But yeah, I think it was Spring Creek Lodge. There
The
were kids who were
digital
just
age, bro. The digital age fucked Wasp over, and it's coming. It's coming back to haunt them.
I hope it gets other people too,
It
because
will.
it's not just wasps. This is lots of places. But like I've heard of kids get duct taped for God knows how long.
Yep.
And then like as far back as Straight Incorporated, I won't say her name, but there was one person thrown in a closet for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like wasn't allowed out to use the bathroom even.
No camera room. Ivy Ridge.
Well, hold up. Like at Ivy Ridge, would they keep people in there, not even let them out to use the bathroom for that long?
I was in the no camera room for 4 days and was not allowed out of the bathroom. Not allowed out to use the bathroom.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I was given a bucket.
Well, well, the closet situation I'm thinking of, there wasn't even a bucket. You were just lifting your clothes.
So.
Ah, jeez. So
And then
go ahead.
intervention. You could go on bathroom breaks, but that's if you were supervised by a dorm parent, which a lot of the times you weren't. It was upper levels. So we would sit there 12 hours, 14 hours until you could go to the bathroom. And a lot of times guys would piss and shit themselves because you're holding it and you cannot fucking hold it.
So I realize we've been kind of beating on wasps a lot, but that's because you two were in wasps, and most of the information
Well,
about programs is wasp, right?
Well, that and it's the hot topic, right?
Yeah.
That is, everybody knows what that is at this point, or TTI in general. When you start, again, it's all an umbrella. So when we're talking about one, we're talking about all of them because they all did this in
Yeah.
their own sort of twisted way. They all did this. Ivy Ridge, we have personal experience on. So
Yes.
when it comes to those first-hand experiences and things that we've seen, yes, it's Ivy Ridge centric in that form. Although we've done a lot of research, we know where else this stuff has happened. CASA, fucking TB, fucking some of the programs in the 90s. I can't remember the fucking acronym some of those went for, but they were
Kids helping kids.
Yes, like all of that shit, like the duct taping, no camera rooms were a thing, but it was mainly just broom closets. Not being allowed to use restrooms, not being able to allowed access into basic hygiene, where kids would go fucking 3-4 weeks without brushing their teeth, 2 weeks without taking showers, all of that shit. Like it's all of them. They all did it.
So God, it's been 3 hours. I was gonna ask if you wanted me to go on about some of the other programs while we're here, because I got a lot about it to talk about.
We're coming up on an hour.
This is kind of late.
We're coming up on an hour.
They
15.
we got about another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll cut the next one at 90, and then so you got 15 minutes to go on whatever tangent you want to go on for this episode.
Can you give me just 1 minute real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I gotta go
Sure.
get real quick.
Go ahead.
No, you can't go to the bathroom. You're not fucking allowed.
You ain't got a bucket? Too fucking bad.
Bro, I did not want to relive fucking that focus situation. That
I didn't want to retalk
fucked me up
I didn't want to retalk.
more.
I didn't want to talk Discovery again either in that fucking tape wall because that's the only thing I remember because it fucked with me so fucking bad for so fucking. Bro, I couldn't even look at tape for fucking ever.
That fucking focus has stuck with me. That situation, because of course I you know.
Well,
I,
you
I-
also
I
got
sacrificed myself.
Well, that you also got humiliated in Focus. That's why.
Oh yeah.
And I knew all about it because I was told all about it because it was told to me to piss me the fuck off. And I ended up in intervention because I punched a couple people in the fucking mouth.
Focus was a trip.
Back again.
Welcome back.
I wouldn't have made it out of Focus.
So 15 minutes. Let's see if I can distill this. I was thinking about talking about I guess an overview or like a survey of some of the other program archetypes.
Please go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah. So like there's there's many that are more or less almost entirely just physically bad, like the junior program, for instance, and Wasps kind of has one foot in physically bad, place. The other one kind of psychologically really, really fucking bad too, right? Have you heard of a program network called CDU?
Yes.
Yes.
CDU was minimally for a program violent, but took the psychological shit to a whole new fucking level.
Yep. It was precursor to Wasp. That's when they knew they had to fucking mix the two because it leaned too far in one direction.
Yeah. The other thing is, I really wish I could tie this together. I'm sure there's something I can stumble on, but CDU kind of was the prototype for WAS because they didn't have seminars. They were called Profits. And they didn't have that daily attack therapy reflection shit. They called that a wrap, I think. Right? I think that's what they called it.
Who, Sea-Doo or Wasp?
Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo called it a wrap, and Wasp would call it reflections, right?
So with
Yes.
So the wrap was just a wrap up of the day. It was called a wrap for short.
All right. So have you guys heard of smushing? Oh God, here we go.
I mean, yes, but probably not in the context in which you're talking about it.
Oh, the innocent sort of smushing is just squeezing something, like you smush a pillow or a marshmallow.
Okay.
And you guys look exactly as unsure and uneasy as you should. CDU's
No,
idea.
my brain's thinking
My
other
brain
shit.
is going in a
Yep,
different direction.
Yep,
Yeah,
no,
go ahead
we're
and take it,
fine.
please.
We're fine.
You won't be fine. CDU's idea of smushing is basically at any fucking time, anywhere, some other person of either sex, regardless of what yours was, could just grab you, make you sit in their lap. They would hug you from behind. Oh, wait, no, I'm mixing two things up. Hang on. Smushing was, I'm not making this shit up. End of seminar, end of day cuddle puddles, everybody, even the staff. I'm fucking serious.
Bro, I would have
The tickle party.
I would have loved that every day.
The fucking tickle party.
At the end of Discovery, bro.
Yeah, but like this is like every day, and it was like the people who were just done yelling at you, your staff, like we're talking like litter of puppies cuddle puddle.
Reinforcement.
Yeah.
That's fucking clever.
Yeah,
You
and CDU,
sneaky fucking cunts. Fuck, bro.
and
This shit makes me so mad. Why do we do this podcast?
because the world needs to know this shit.
No, they don't.
To stop it, they do, because people act like nothing's
Who the
happening.
fuck's gonna stop it?
Well,
We're trying,
Oh,
okay?
You
me
just
too.
on cuddle puddles. What do you mean?
Wait, what?
I would
Shit.
have killed for a cuddle puddle in Ivy Ridge. Okay?
Yeah, but, like-
that's the thing is that's so fucking effective.
It really
When
is.
you
yeah.
you berate someone to that level and you allow that level of affection to happen because that's
Force
what
it.
it's taken as.
Force it,
It's-
because
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
After
that
you've
hug,
been berated,
that hug, bro.
that hug is
Oh,
the most
God.
important thing in the fucking world to you at that point in time. And
We
that's
all
how it
cried.
gets you.
We all cried. Every
yeah.
single one of us cried. Every single one of us cried. That hug. Oh, and especially if it was like with a chick you connected with because of everything that was going on, or another dude that you haven't been able to. Bro, that hug, like when I hugged, I'm not gonna say her name, CP, her initials. I cried like a little bitch, bro, like a bit. And
It's effective.
and then she kissed me on the cheek, bro. For like 4 days, I wanted to just cry and curl up with a ball.
But okay, so Sidu didn't just do this after the Sidu seminars. This was every day. And I was
Oh,
also told, and the other thing is, a lot of what people told me, just the mental state of it is like somebody was just done screaming at you or making you stay up all night or like giving you bullshit chores you can never go to bed. Like this is the same person basically cuddling you and sniffing your hair. It's fucked up. And Sidu took this even further. If this starts to get too much, just let me know. But like
No, go.
Cedar's thing was all about forced admissions of every embarrassing, humiliating thing. And this was also an everyday thing, not just a seminar thing. So if like you were up against some woman's breasts or teenager's breasts and they expected you to admit you jerked off to it that night, guess what they're asking you in the morning?
Did you jerk off?
Well, I wasn't in CEDU, but
I probably would have.
but yeah, it's the other thing is I forget the proper name of it, but anybody at any time could basically just grab you, sit down, that you're in their lap, they just kind of grab onto you from behind like a monkey on your back, and they just spill all their personal shit to you, and you just have to just sit there and take it.
I see what you're, dude.
Okay.
Okay, that was a separate thing.
That would be powerful as fuck, dude.
Oh, it was abused that way. Like people would just do that to terrorize people, or just the physical imposition on someone else. Because Sidu was big on the mind games and just the
Yeah,
tension.
but even then, at that point in time, it wouldn't come off that way. Like even if they were trying to do it to terrorize you, but because of everything else you were going through,
Oh yeah,
no matter the circumstance, that would probably be something that every person in there would be like, I just hope somebody just grabs me or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be something to look forward to every fucking day.
well yeah, because making you
That's
crave that is part of it. Yeah,
yeah, no, that's because like just from what we got at the seminars, from like that 2 or 3 minute fucking like session of like we all just got, dude, if every day, bro, no bullshit, I would have broke faster than fuck.
that's what made Sidu just so giga brain fucky, because that's all it was all day, every day. It was just
I'm telling you right
constant.
now, me and Jack would have broke. You and me would have broke, bro. We would have been fucked.
Anybody would, man.
We would have been so
ugh.
fucked. Holy shit.
Because you again, since you haven't, I mean, you've done your research on the seminars, but one of the things that you need to understand, Nilly,
Okay.
from that perspective, again, not like being at just saying that this is the right way to go about it, but when you're going through that and you're on fucking lockdown and you can't talk and you can't do this, you get into the seminar, they fucking berate you and they go through that whole process of just fucking breaking you down, and at the fucking end of that whole situation, they allow that to happen. And as Nick said it, once you've gone through all of that shit and you're already mentally and physically fucking exhausted, and that moment happens, the flood that happens in your fucking brain, it's like crack.
I
It's like
believe it.
every fucking drug at once hitting
Like-
you, and it is the most natural high.
Bro.
It's astounding what physical touch does in
Oh,
that
yeah.
regard. And someone in the chat pointed out it's not cool for a sexual assault victim, while normally we would be inclined to very much agree with you. But you also need to realize something. That same sexual assault victim has just been berated for being a whore for 3 days.
And like,
Beaten down.
and bro, like I'm like right now, dude. I'm like you don't. Oh my god. Like
Way to go, Nilly. You broke him.
You
I'm
okay, dude?
no, cause so like I got berated because my dad died in 9/11, right? And I got berated because of that, and it was my fault because I had gotten into a fight with him on the 9th. So I never got to see him again after we had our fight. So, like, I got berated like crazy. Bro, that hug? Oh, bro, like, oh, I just remember that.
For the people that fought the hardest and for the people that didn't work it, and for anyone that kind of held back in the seminars, for those that didn't just say what they needed to say, for those that didn't lie to get through, for those that were just like, I didn't fucking do anything, and everyone that just wound up caving and doing everything, you take everything that's said to heart because it's literally drilled into you the entire time that you're there. And that one moment or those couple of moments that you want to stretch into fucking eternity are the breaking moments. And they take that, and a lot of when they would end it from that, when they would end it after that hug, they do that on purpose. That high that you feel from that fucking moment carries you for days. And each ending of the seminar has something different. Orientation, they had the little fucking tickle party fucking cuddle puddle thing. That was, you just got through your first journey. Discovery, you get the hug. Focus, you get a hug. Principles, you get a hug. And these things happen, and it fucking traps you. Because from that point, you want to chase that. The other side of it, you want to chase it, and if you choose not to chase it and you don't let it control you from that point, some people wind up going the opposite way, and they wind up fighting it because they realize, what the fuck just happened to me?
And that's what I did. I've said it a million times, bro. I didn't do the program, and I didn't buy into the bullshit. I fought tooth and nail. I did. You heard it with John Free on his interview with Channel 7, where he even said, Nick from the podcast, he got restrained over 50 times, like constantly. I was restrained easily 100 times, like every day. He said it in that a staff member, every day, because I did nothing but fight. I didn't fucking buy into the bullshit. So like when I got into that situation, I got berated for it. Like, bro, that's not my fucking fault. Like, that's not in my fucking control. None of that was in my fucking control, but I was raked over the coals for like 5 hours. And Jack was there because he was in Discovery. I was raked over the fucking coals.
Well, because they wanted you to take accountability for, and I'm sorry. I am sorry. But they literally drilled it, and they waited for you to take accountability for killing your dad.
And then I had to. I had no choice because I just wanted them to shut the fuck up, and I took fucking accountability for it. And I
don't think you, Nilly, when he fucking did it, literally
the whole room,
the room like brightened, and I fucking shit you not, dude. They played this so perfectly that even I looked around like, what the fuck? But like, he fucking said it. They just constantly, every time that there was an accountability section, every time there was something that he had to get up and share, they would force him to get up and share and be like, are you going to take accountability for this? You killed your father. What are you going to do about it? Da, 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 da. They kept fucking doing it. And when he finally fucking sat there and he stood up and he was like, it was me, I fucking did it. I remember, because once he fucking did it, whoever fucking assholes were in the back turned the rest of the fucking lights on, and they let everybody fucking get up and fucking.
And I fell to my knees and fucking bawled like a bitch for like a half hour. And like Jack and like 6 other dudes had to come pick me the fuck up because I could not get up. I physically could not stand. I was crying so hard. And then not long after that was like that big hug thing. And I think every single person in that fucking room fucking held me. Jack,
yep.
CP, and one other person would not let me go. They didn't hug anybody else. They would not let me fucking go. And the whole time Jack was like, you know it's not your fault, right? And I was like, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Because like I was just, my brain, he's like, bro, it's not. I'm like, I know, but Oh, I was like, kill me. I said that to him. I was like, kill me.
I let him go for one reason and one reason only, is because there was someone else I wanted to hug.
Yeah.
It's shut up. It's fine. But
Well,
welcome to the random tangents, Nilly.
Oh.
so
okay.
no, that's I've heard shit like this before. First, Nick, I'm sorry that they fucking did that, dude. I'm sorry they beat you up. I'm sorry you had to go through that, dude. And I'm also sorry that I did that thing I do where I make people remember shit.
It's you don't need to
I do. I see.
you don't need to apologize for making me remember, because it's not something I ever forgot. That's something I've always remembered vividly. But bringing it up is important because people don't understand the
No, they don't.
power in that shit, and it is so fucking wild. Like,
There's a reason
Oh.
why. There's a reason why even still to this day, like when I see friends or something like that, I'll give him a fucking hug.
Bro,
every time
me
I
and
fucking
him?
see
oh,
There's a reason.
it's a painful hug. We hug the fuck out of each other for like a good 5 minutes.
I had a friend of mine come here last month, and as soon as I fucking saw him, I fucking gave him the biggest fucking hug, and it carries so much power for both parties subconsciously. And I haven't broken that habit because it still does the same thing for me because of that fucking seminar. As I'll never forget that fucking hug.
Nope. Mm-mm. Not
For
ever.
as long as I
Not-
fucking live, I
not-
will never forget that fucking hug.
Not fucking ever.
So, I don't know what to
And
say.
this is 18 fucking years later, Nilly, that still has that level of an effect. Like a fucking pen, 18 fucking years later, it still has that fucking effect.
Like,
Well,
bro,
I'll put it this way.
like the last time me and him saw each other, every time we've seen each other after the program, we've hugged each other, literally held each other for like 5 minutes. I think we've cried every single time.
So, I'm still claustrophobic after that fucking locking room shit.
I don't fucking blame you.
I still won't take an elevator. I will walk up 20 fucking stories.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
I don't do
Roger.
elevators. I don't do, like, if I get in the back, I'm too tall to fit most of the time, but I still check the child locks
Big fuck.
every time I get into a fucking car in the back. Dead ass. Like, if I get in a car and I can't find the door handles, I get like the, you know? So I get it, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to go through that shit because I'm fucked up enough, but Jesus Christ.
But at the same time, we're sorry you had to go through what you went through. Like, again, there is no worse.
Bad is bad.
There is no worse in this situation. Like, yeah, what we went through sounds worse because maybe you didn't experience that shit, but we didn't experience some of the shit you went through, and that shit has a long-lasting effect. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I guess the silver
Demonic
lining
is demonic, and evil is evil, bro.
damn straight. It gave me enough insight to bridge the gap between being told and really putting myself there in my mind, or at least kind of there. I mean, hell no, I don't know what it's like to go through that shit firsthand, and I'm kind of glad because I don't know how y'all do it because that's some shit. And now I'm just thinking, and now I'm thinking, this shit you went through every 6 weeks, that was every day at CEDU. Like not a seminar. That was the prof eats every however weeks or months. But the cuddle puddle shit, the forced affection after all the teardowns and the attacks.
There's a reason
every
why
day.
they changed that tactic, because while it's effective as an everyday occurrence, it's something to chase when it's spaced out.
Yep. Again, CEDU was a precursor. They learned from it.
It was all a refining technique, and that's why nowadays, I mean,
the programs are wild now.
Programs now are fucking they're similar, but still a bit different compared to when we were in.
They're a step up.
It's evolving. It's always evolving.
And it's just because kids are getting older. There's different distractions, different things that are going on. Technology is at a whole different fucking level now than it was. So
kids are more informed. Kids are more informed. Kids have learned different experiences by reading them. Kids have information at their fingertips. So kids are so much harder to get a grasp on these days because of the access they have to things. It's wild.
So
We
go
are.
ahead.
We're at 95 minutes again, bro.
It's already 3 hours.
Well, look, we already know that we're gonna bring you back, and I know
Oh,
we
100%.
just barely scratched the fucking surface of the wealth of fucking knowledge that you have in this situation. So, formally, I'm going to ask if you would care to return at any
Of
fucking
course.
point in time, and obviously would get it scheduled like in advance to make sure and bring you on as another guest and bring you on to talk with other people and all that. But and just so you know, you're more than welcome to stay and chat continuously after we stop
Sure.
the recording. But I'm so grateful for you coming on and having this conversation with us and shining a different light on it from a different perspective as someone that went through something similar but did this of his own accord, not
Yeah.
something that was forced on him, not something that forced to relive it from a fucking documentary that fucking comes out, just something that you as a person have chosen to do. And I'm very grateful for you to have joined us tonight, Nilly, to do this.
That means a lot, because a lot of people just look at me like I'm fucking crazy for giving a shit, and it's like, no, fuck you. This is bad. Someone stop it. If I was a fucking kid going for this, I'd want someone to rescue me. So I'm gonna fucking do what I can, whatever it is.
Well, again, I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And for everybody that's listening to this, obviously we're going to keep this going for the live stream just to hang out with you guys and chat a little bit more like we always do. But for those of you that are listening to this or watching this, it's just a step of where we needed to go. And again, while we've done our talks on Ivy Ridge and we've done our talks on the TTI in general, just doing this in general and seeing the different side of it is just the beginning. There's a lot more work to be done. And a lot more that we're going to try to do.
And again, by the time you guys see this on Spotify and YouTube, our other episode will be up where we talk about how we're going to be expanding the type of content that we also do on the channel. This topic, this mission that we're on will always be a part of it, but we are going to be bringing more content, more lighthearted content, because talking about this shit like this all the fucking time gets real hot and heavy quickly. It gets really hard to listen to so often. So what we're going to be doing again
What
is
just happened in chat? What the fuck?
Gifted subs.
Damn. We're up to 20 viewers. Nice.
So
I feel so bad for the people that are going to listen to this that are randomly going to get slammed with Electric Callboy.
Right. But we're going to be expanding, god damn it, on our content. We're going to be doing reaction content. We're going to be doing like movie reviews. We're going to talk comics. We're going to talk video games. We're going to talk a whole bunch of stuff. But this will always be a focus. This will always be a topic. This will always be something we cover. But as you guys can tell, it's a toll on us and on those that we interview as well. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to talk about. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that content as well. But Nilly, as Jack said, thank you so much for coming on, bro. Thank you so much for your insight. Thank you so much for being dedicated to your research. And I can't wait to have you on again, brother. It was a great conversation. There was a lot of great back and forth, a lot of things that I think the viewers and listeners will have taken away from this and learned. And yeah, we'll see you next time, brother. I appreciate you.
Can't wait to come back, man. Thank you.
Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys can get your podcast fucking fix. Go and get it. We are there. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you so feel fucking inclined. I love you. Jack loves you. Nilly can go fuck himself as much as we love him. But we'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a good one. I'm out. Deuces.